We are continuing our Kilwan campaign, and for those who weren't here last time, we took over a relatively large portion of lands from Ottomans in a war where they were underwhelming, to say the least. So it was like a war that wasn't very Ottoman-like at all. But yeah, we got the Ottoman Balkans here, like everything surrounding this revolutionary Bulgaria part here. And we were considering to maybe fight Spain next, because they are guaranteeing the independence of revolutionary Bulgaria. But one thought I have is that, first of all, we are coring the provinces around this country. So we probably don't want to mess around with having course blocked by this situation. And also maybe we just could use a little bit of extra time before fighting Spain in terms of preparing for it. So our troops are heading back from the Ottoman lands, but in the meantime I was thinking maybe let's just take a quick look at the truce list. So you can see that the next interesting truce that will expire in 1769, in July actually, which is around half a year away, is against Ayutthaya, Mong Mao and Dai Viet. So last time we fought Ayutthaya, we pretty much surrounded them in a way that we could grab those lands for ourselves in a later war. And we have just enough time to prepare our troops, at least some of them, to get here. We already can see that we have a little bit of troops here, and if you check their numbers actually, well, Ayutthaya themselves has 95k, so 74k from Dai Viet, and Mong Mao has 9k. So it's like less than 200k troops. And we do have 255k troops in reserve, so I was just thinking maybe we'll just carry some troops over, but not all of them. But let's perhaps just build up the troops around here as well. So we have presence both in near Europe as well as in Asia. And yeah, if we fight Spain later on, we can just reposition them if anything. So that's the plan to start with. I'm not sure if we get to Spain today, but let's just clean up this part of the map first. There is also Bengal. I didn't check Bengal yet. So they're allied with Chagatai, Delhi and Kwarat. So with Bengal it comes the question, can we make Delhi dissolve the alliance with them? I can take a quick look at the moment. So at the moment they seem to be eager to do that. So maybe it could be a nice appetizer, because we don't have a truce with Bengal either. But we do need to prepare troops in any case. And Jaunpur is also a candidate. Who are you allied with? Chagatai. And the truce with those guys ends, well, in a while, because we just had a war with them. Oh, well, Delhi, yeah, the war with them, we were just looking at what's going on. Okay, so we have some options. Also, Shun is something we haven't even considered clashing with or against. And now they're guaranteeing the independences of Chagatai and Wu. So that could be an entryway for us later on, without having to involve Korea. But yeah, I think Ayutthaya is currently the plan, just because we have enough time to prepare the troops and then go from there. Now, regarding the troop preparations, we do have some ships to transport some troops around. So you can see there's 41k actually troops here. These mercenaries I would keep on the islands, as they're just making sure the rebels are under control. These transport ships should likely just move closer towards us. So yeah, just meet up with the other groups. These transport ships can already move you guys close by Ayutthaya. Well, I'm thinking about which direction we should approach these guys from. Probably south again. So we can just go like from the coastline towards the western areas. So we, like last time, we kind of clear along the shoreline this Taiviet. Just a second, we have a cat interception going on. And okay, it should be resolved now. So yeah, just along the coastline, we need like 2 groups to clean up the fortresses over here, and then when it comes to Ayutthaya themselves, I don't know how many fortresses they have this time around. I see a few at least. So we'll take like 4, 6 groups to just start conquering them from here as well. Okay, so yeah, first things first, you guys will be one of the groups going for Taiviet. And you will be transported there by ship. You guys will get ready somewhere along the lines of Raung Teipi. What about you guys? You are actually an artillery group, which is nice. This means I will assemble you fully right here. So let's conform to the siege template, which will add like 21k infantry to you. Okay, and then we'll assemble a few more groups around where India was supposed to be, I guess. So see how many we can make. So we have 234k manpower, given that each of our groups is in size like 41k. Let's make maybe 5 groups. Do we have the... Yeah, we have the limit for this. Army force limit is good to go. So siege and 5 groups. They will all be made in a similar area. I hope they don't disturb too much in terms of each other in terms of preparations. So let's just make them all like nearby. So one goes here, 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 and here. Okay. And yeah, it went red because we don't have manpower for another full group. So the troops are cooking. I'm not sure they're gonna be ready for the exact time we need them, meaning that we will consider just moving some troops from here as well to the shoreline. Maybe we can just easily pick them up once we get there. So you guys are all spreading out nicely. I'm pausing at the moment. So all eligible provinces have been converted to Sunni religion. Nice. And while we're waiting here, let's do some maintenance tasks. So diplomatic power and military power are under control. We don't have any issues with administrative power. Also, we kind of spent all our money at the end of the last stream, I believe. We will not be claiming hegemony status. Again, no need to at the moment. Our allies helped a bit with war against the Ottomans, for example. Diet is also kind of optional at this point. And the exiled armies should be moving to places where they're not exiled anymore. Just takes a little bit of time. So we're gaining like a decent amount of ducat per month right now. 1.4k, even more. And there are some rebels that are doing some tricks around here. Okay, so you guys probably... I interrupted your rebel fighting, but we want to keep this area controlled nicely. I will just assign you all the... Even if the areas are green, I'll assign them in any case. Not to have to worry about them in the future either. Okay, there's a little bit of red over here as well. If we could click it. Okay, perfect. Ah, yellow there. So, a huge part of Africa is ours. We still have like pieces left of Nkora and Congo here. And yeah, I guess at some point we'll just do quick wars and clean those places up as well. Because we like the map nice and green. Okay, so these rebels should be taken care of. Do we have any other rebel situations? I think not. Our exiled armies are... Wait, are they all back? No, they're still like 4 of them remaining. Well, they are moving back slowly. I will also keep an eye on attrition, because often it happens that they leave the enemy territories and just pile up all into a single bunch altogether. So it seems like, okay, you can see like action is going on here, so things are happening. Also the first new troops are being deployed. They're moving towards their designated locations. Yeah, it's like constantly somebody's getting some attrition on the way to our own lands and provinces. So Delhi would be interested in trading favors for soldiers. We're not dealing with those trades these days. This place just got cleaned up from being controlled by rebels. And these rebels will have some time to have fun in this area, but soon the guys should also be taking care of them. So this is probably the most active area in the upcoming months, because troops are being gathered up. Local traders demand aid. Yeah, sure, we'll give them 100 ducats, that's not a problem. We lost a claim on some promises, which is fine. And we lost the conquest casus belli against Congo. New rebellions going on here. We do have this area covered by the rebel control or autonomous suppression, just in case, putting more areas to be covered by that, because they can move like to the east as well and just take over areas that are otherwise green. We could invest in technologies. I'm just gonna check how many years we are ahead of time. So that's 6 for all of them. So if we do need to spend, we're still gonna be spending into development our monarch points that are excessive. Okay, so one more thought I have is that these transport ships are fast enough to go to close to the Ottoman areas and back in time before we start the war, so we could bring in like 3 groups. So I will give you a leader, hopefully it will... Oh, okay, so spend some diplo points here. So I will give you a leader and maybe you'll be there and back even faster. So I'm thinking these 3 groups will be boarding the ship. I just sent the transports alone, so they're as fast as they can be. You can see like messy stuff going on here. So this 30k mercenary group is just looking around, like all of a sudden like thousands of troops are being gathered for something. They have no clue what's about to happen. Can you guys like... Okay, so there's 27,000 of you. I was wondering if you would be afraid to approach these Makuan separatists, but I think you should be good to go, especially if you gather up some extra forces. Luvo is offering an alliance. We do not need them to be our allies. We might have to conquer them at some point if we need to proxy some coring to quick wins. So custodianship of Leva. That's something unique. With each year, the holy city of Leva has seen an increase in the number of pilgrims that seek the shrines there. The faithful come from all corners of the Islamic world, bringing commerce, goods, capital, news and ideas from faraway places to our ports. God is good. That's the only option here. So we gain 15 diplomatic power and 5 prestige. Okay, God is good. So Makuan separatists have taken control of, surprise, Makua. Okay, our marshals report the same thing. Just to make sure we're not misled in any way, right? So we have some attrition going on here. So you can see the stacking issue I mentioned here. Maybe we sent them to the same place, but in any case, this needs to be resolved as soon as possible to prevent unnecessary attrition. Our manpower is going up at a decent speed though. 10,000 per month is quite amazing considering where we were before, like 20 years ago or so. So favors for ducats from Portugal. By the way, is Portugal eager to join us as our allies again? Because, okay, they are guaranteed by Ottomans and guaranteeing the independence of I mean, like, them being guaranteed by Ottomans would, like, if Spain gets hungry and Ottomans is willing to protect Portugal, that would be our, like, entry ticket to the war against Spain. So maybe we will not ally them again, because we would also be called to war in that scenario and just lose some prestige and stuff pointlessly. So German separatists are still doing their thing in the eastern part of Africa. You can see everything is quite nice and clean at the moment in terms of our armies. No unnecessary attrition. So yeah, we will leave the tariffs on tobacco. Some group of rebels got kicked off the coasts of Africa. So it's almost March now. Our transport ship is ready to transport these guys all together. So please group up and we'll onboard you and get you to the other side of the world. I like how fast the transport ships alone can be. Okay, so there's some... Morocco is, like, guaranteed. Morocco is trying to get onto each stream with either alliance offer or royal marriage proposal or both. Okay, some province has been taken back from the rebels. Okay, so these three groups will all attach to the transport. One of them is actually mercenary, so it's fine. I'm not gonna shuffle around just because of that. And you guys will just land somewhere like in to the south of Ayutthaya. We have some expensive edicts. Local development, sure, we'll remove it. Actually, like, what's going on with the trade here? How much do we control? 97%. There's some... The numbers are either so big or what's going on, but they're all jumbled together. So I guess it's the trade power plus the number of ships. What I'm thinking about is there is this option to protect trade. Doing local trade power modifier. I think it might be worth it. I had it on for a while before. Just because this node is so important, whatever goes through is big numbers relatively speaking anyway. So yeah, let's leave that trade edict on there. For the foreseeable future at least. Now we can see two of the groups are already assembled. We are in May, so we have still a few months remaining. The war we will likely start whenever the truce counter expires, just because I don't want them to join any coalitions. I've been expanding a lot and gaining some aggressive expansion, so as soon as the truce counter is done, we will declare. And we do have a few diplomats just to make sure we have the ability to do it. So 19.8 prestige from converting somebody to our religion. 20 prestige. And then, yeah, I guess we've seen 20 before as well, but the numbers are huge thanks to the great projects, I guess, mostly, that we control. Okay, so our overextension is high, that's fine. We can just close this notification not to bring any... take away our attention. So another conversion done. One more exiled army. Nice. So you're the last one who didn't make it back to homelands. Just start moving there, please. Now the troops that are assembled already, I think we can just... well... Can we recruit some generals? We can recruit 2 generals. It's a bit of a low number. But you start force marching yourself somewhere, like... Yeah, just because we're running out of time, I'm thinking like maybe you guys will instead approach Ayutthaya from... Huh. They have like 36k troops here, ready for being fought. Yeah, let's send you guys to Kilwa, for example. It's because you're first ones to be ready. Is there any other group that's ready? No, others are still assembling. There's like a 39k, but I'll pause for a little bit to assemble it fully. Okay, so good government policies. We can either gain 1 stability, which sounds impressive. We don't need the ducats at this point. Government reform progress is decent, but you know, we're saving on admin points if we gain the stability, plus less rebels, so we'll go for it. The either dramatic sound or good sound of stability change. So these guys are cleaning up Africa, wherever the rebels happen to spawn. We do have some ships that we should maybe take. Well, this war is gonna be slightly on the water. Aha, these guys made it. Okay, just in time. July is almost here. You guys should also merge together and just come closer to the transport ships. We might fight a little bit on the water. So basically bringing all of our ships into one place at the moment. Okay, so truce expired. This means we are ready to go to war. Okay, so here is the royal marriage offer from Morocco, the mandatory one. Skip. And we will declare on Ayutthaya. So, yes, we want to have a war with you. Can we consider you guys co-belligerent? You have Korea there, I don't want that. And you have Ming there, which... Does Ming still exist? It's like a one province country at this point. I mean, it doesn't give us much. We will have enough lands to conquer to get to 100% overextension regardless. We could bring in Transoxiana and Delhi. Would they be interested in these lands? I don't think so. So just join us. Why not? Some extra power. So imperialism will be the casus belli again. There is no point in declaring a holy war. And you can see there's like 140, 180... Like somewhere between 170k to 180k troops on the enemy side. Should be an easy one again. Yeah, let's go. Now, in the meantime, this group is almost assembled as well. Okay, there it is. We'll give you a general. The last available slot. Oh, you got a decent one. Lucky. So that was the last available slot for leaders at the moment. Which means we have to play the generals around a little bit, because you can see there's one group that also is lacking a general. So you guys will go to Nakchu. And I'll take away the generals from a few groups over here. So no leader for you. You had the conquistador by the... Oh no, you didn't. So no leader for you. And... we had 3 more groups forming, plus 1 was without a leader, so these 2 will also not have a leader for the time being. And we should have enough leaders for the rest of the groups that are forming or just already there. Okay, so the war started, but we didn't get moving yet, so we will send you guys to start sieging down Tain Nguyen. You will provide artillery support and also the siege support for the rest of. I will send the siege group also over the forced march because it's free anyway, right? Now you guys will just siege the areas around here. Now we have 3 groups here. One of them is the mercenary group, so again 1 siege supported by the artillery of another group with forced march. And then yeah, the mercenaries will be like closer to the front lines, and the remaining infantry will be just behind the sieging group. So yeah, we're just starting from the bottom, going up from here. Time-wise, if we check the cores, you guys need a leader, don't you? If we check the cores, why don't you start sieging down Mongmao, by the way? Don't just stand here. The cores are 1/3 done. I'm not sure if we'll get to the truce by the time we finish coring, but it shouldn't be that much later either. So we're again at 101k manpower. Just really glad to see it because it's like always struggling with manpower. So you can see the other 3 groups that should be forming here. One of them is finished. So we can send you guys also on the way. There should be a free 0 for you. Force march and see you somewhere in the north. Lhasa, for example. Now there is some danger that these guys will actually be surrounded, meaning that maybe we'll take the precautions and send you a little bit southward instead, just to have backup if anything. So maybe you can siege down instead this Queen Hon. And also the ships are almost all here. I think we have some important ones on the way still. Let me just quickly take a look at the ledger. So there are 60 galleys on the way. They're having some serious attrition, so please take the Admiral as well. And they should usually make it there though, but they need some repairs if anything. Yeah. Okay. We are gaining some ground already. The siege is going nicely. What is the... Oh, it's 43 days per siege phase. So nothing like what we had with Ottomans. But it is to be expected. Whatever happened to Ottomans is not the usual thing. We're gonna have our first battle here, I see. Against 23,000 troops of Ayutthaya. And there are some rebels that are not happy with their situation nearby this area. So yeah, let's do forced march, and you guys are gonna be doing autonomous rebel suppression around here. Now the question is, can you even get to the other side? Because, I mean, seemingly not, because we don't have access to the other side, at least at the moment. Might have to negotiate with somebody. I don't think Commonwealth is happy to let us buy, but what about this revolutionary Bulgaria? So they will be giving us military access. Do we have any? Yeah, we have enough free diplomatic relations. Meaning that, okay, this guy was... Yeah, this was the... Wait. Who of you was just assigned to... Okay, you are the one who dealing with rebels autonomously. You will move to the other side and just keep the order on that side of the country. So Lingyun has been occupied. So Daiviet is doing some occupation of our provinces. All is good. Our top priority right now is not to fight, just grab the fortresses and then maybe fight if needed. Wait, we have some war against rebels. We don't care about that one so much. So you can see that still 2 groups forming up. One is almost full, just lacking 1 troop, and the other one a little bit more. Okay, we have converted some provinces towards our religion again. And the rebels, the last of the rebels in Africa has been taken care of. And now we're just slowly taking our time enjoying the siege phases over here. Did this battle not happen? I mean, I guess they just managed to run away, this Ayutthaya group, from our group. Not too bad. Seemed like a good opportunity to maybe grab some free army tradition. Okay, so another group is ready. We'll give you a leader. A good one. At that you will be forced marching. And see you somewhere. I guess last group I sent to Ndongur, Lhasa, so we'll go to Punakha. So we're losing some provinces, but that's just fine. Just keeping them busy. So military leader left us. Mogmao has occupied something. Now we have one more slowpoke group that's almost done. Literally all these 3 troops around them are gonna be merged into the main one, and we'll go from there. These are, yeah, artillery groups, that's to be expected, the slow ones. So another group of rebels has spawned. This area is gonna become a little bit more active in terms of rebels. So it's good to have like somebody protecting these areas. Now, is this area covered? I don't think so. You guys. Oh, wait. Sometimes hard to click those areas into the control group. Okay. Anything else we need to do around here? So our last group has been assembled. You do have exactly one general. You were slowest, so you'll get the one of the worst generals, unfortunately. Force march, and let's see you again near the lands of Ayutthaya. I'm pretty sure I didn't send anyone to Damkshung, so you get to go there. So they tell us of the end of revolution in revolutionary Novgorod. Sure. Not much for us. The siege of Dagnuyen is over. Okay, perfect. So this means I will leave this artillery to just help out in the Queen Bon, and you guys maybe... Can you get here? No, you cannot. So we will probably find you a fortress that's a bit closer if we even want to go that far. It might also be... Like, there are no fortresses around here, so it might just be like we'll take it a bit cautiously and wait until this fortress is also done in Kampompus Tom. Wow, what a lovely name. But we can take care of these few areas around the fort that we just took down. Okay, we have rebels cleaned up from the map again. And I want to remind you, we have like 2 relatively large allies also helping us in this war, and they're just getting towards the enemy land. So if you take a look at how many troops both Delhi and Transoxiana have, then Delhi is at, wow, 235k, that's decent. They're actually very, very similar in terms of army sizes, so 500,000 from there. So yeah, if you wonder why we're not taking the hegemony status, that's the reason. Hopefully they're gonna be useful as well. This war should be close enough, so they will be useful. So the siege of Kampompustom has been finished. So we get to go forward a little bit and see which one is next. So some religious conversions going on. Where is the next fortress? So I don't see any around here. Usually it shows a little bit better. So you can see one fortress is in Sukhothai and the other one is in Vientiane. I think we'll go for the Vientiane one. So these 2 groups will proceed there, and everyone else, well, mercenaries will be close behind just in case the Ayutthaya wants to fight us. But the rest will be a little bit slower, just follow along as they take on all the provinces on the way. Okay, and we have the first new troops that have been assembled, ready to fight in the northern part of Ayutthaya. Now one full group will go to Dej, and then we'll make the usual trick that you guys will fully go to siege down the fortress in Nuinchi. And once I can, I will also send artillery from the group that's heading north at the moment. So somebody is controlling one of our provinces and so on. Something going on in the Holy Roman Empire. I don't usually play in Europe, so it, like the mechanics with the Empire is a little bit unfamiliar for me. Okay, so you guys, as said, you will give your artillery. They will be forced to force march and yeah, help out in the siege over there. Now we can see we have a naval siege going on here. We are lacking the blockade, so let's send our ships along the shoreline so we get this done faster. Okay, so expulsion of merchants. Well, we either decrease our own colonial nation opinion of us, and because we have 2 successful merchants, or we give up some trade power in Australia to have good relationships with our colonial nation. We will keep our relations. We don't care about trade power that much at this point. Because if we look at it, we get plenty of ducats per month at the moment. Not even much to do with them, I guess. So we are well, the enemies are occupying our provinces, we're occupying their provinces. They aren't sieging any fortresses though. There is one. Yeah, Daiviet is trying to do something actually useful for their side of the war. Yay, Africa got, well, temporarily at least, fully clean of rebels or rebel controlled areas. Okay, we can see now this siege is going better because we're also blockading the province from the sea. Counter-revolutionaries in Nikopol. So revolutionary ideas will be removed from Bulgaria area. They cannot be spread there again for 15 years. Gain 10 unrest in Bulgaria. Yeah, we will support them for sure. We don't want to lose one stability because of this. Now also Battambang has been occupied by Kilwa, perfect. And Kilwan revolutionaries have risen up, which was to be expected based on the event just so happening. We have plenty of troops to take care of them. Not a problem. So we need to move you guys a little bit forward, just to keep claiming all the provinces around. Coring is almost 2/3 done. I cannot say our war is 2/3 done, but we're getting there. It's like they're taking over a lot of our lands as well in the meantime. You guys, I mean, while they're chilling here, you can try to siege down. I guess it's their capital because it has a level 1 fortress in it. You guys should just take care of sieging rate. Well, sieging is a bit of a strong word, I guess. Just take it over. And we have a few groups that are arriving. So you can maybe head to Mav. Okay, I'm a little bit curious. So we have 2 groups available here. Should you guys just go with the rest of the groups up here, or just split up and go for the fortress in, for example, in Sain-V? Let's go for the fort in Sain-V, because we also have our allies nearby, so I shouldn't be that concerned about being swarmed by the enemy. So we took care of the rebels in Nikopol. Perfect. Walls have been breached in here. So Guinon should also be ours within a siege phase or 2. the chances are growing towards our favor, right? Now 41k troops here. Can we lend you somewhere to help with the siege? I think not. So what's going on in Macedonia? Sufi orders growing in popularity in Macedonia. So we can either move towards legalism or mysticism. I think we'll go for mysticism this time. Usually I go to legalism, and I guess you should be like consistent in what you do, but just having less rebel chances, nice to have at this point. Also Hanafi Scholars has expired. It's okay, we'll refresh you. We'll take the administrative technology cost. Soon we should be clicking up one more time anyway. Now we do have the opportunity to gain some innovation through upgrading military technology early. It's still 5 years ahead of time. And to be fair, we're not really lacking like anything militarily. Plus our innovation is at max, so thank you, but I'll skip this opportunity. We'll just invest in development instead. Now you guys can move a bit forward, you as well. Like the tricky part about fighting Ayutthaya, you can see the problem, right? They are green and we are green, so everything is green. And if we take over their areas, it's even worse. It's like identical, isn't it? Because the area occupied by them is like almost identical to what we have. Just a little bit brighter color. I was checking out the streams of a few other EU4 players, and they had this like more higher contrast map versions. Should probably look into that in the long run. Easier to distinguish everything. Also the names of the provinces were much easier to read. Okay, so we are nearing the maximum diplomatic power, which means it's time to do some deving. We'll just do the lowest cost because not gonna look up for the trade centers and so on. So Yaka is gonna get a few clicks. We'll do also some military, and we'll go down to like 800 with each, just to have this management under control for at least like a year or two in the game. Okay, we are controlling another province here. Let's move you guys forward. They're really taking over a lot of provinces. What are our allies doing though? I can see Transoxiana is just chilling here. Well, at least Delhi started sieging with whatever they have. We will gain... We don't need innovativeness. We'll just gain 1 mercantilism. Okay, we are sieging more areas over here. You guys, the 21k troops. There is a lonely Ayutthaya troop here. So something happened bad in terms of diplomacy. We get diplomatic reputation -1 faux pas. Another siege has been finished. Brilliant. So I guess now it's time to move. There is a fort over here. So you guys will go siege down that fort. And I will send you this full group as a backup. And I guess you should also go as a backup. Other than that, we can proceed. So there is... We're almost in Nongkai. Yeah, that's like I had the same issue with Ottomans, but since they weren't doing much, it wasn't that big of a problem. You can see Ottomans is green, we are green, and Ayutthaya is green. Oof. Okay, so we got a bunch of prestige from converting provinces to our religion again. Like 28, it's nothing to do with that prestige. 21 prestige. And they all start like the 3 missionaries that we have at the same time. That's why it's always like 3 provinces in a row. Okay, you can see this siege is almost done. It's for the capital. So mercenaries are doing their good job there. I do want to send an artillery group from here to assist with the siege instead. So please force march. And let's take Sign V as well, as quickly as possible. Like regarding the cores, one of the cores is lacking behind. I guess it was like partially under siege by the rebels at some point. The merchant guild gains 10 influence, sure. Yeah. Okay, we're occupying and they're occupying. It's everybody's occupying something. But the main thing is the sieges, right? Oh. And this wasn't exactly a planned encounter. You guys will be helping them out, but are they gonna be fast enough? We might lose this battle, we'll see. Yeah, the numbers are not good. I didn't pay enough attention to this situation, so 19th of June, really? 14th of June, so can you hold on for 9 days is the question. Getting a bit iffy. Okay, we're getting some good rolls for a change. Still good rolls. And now the bad ones. You can also take a look at what the numbers are. I think we'll make it, so... the other question is it still gonna be good enough? So another province got converted. So 22nd of June we'll get another group of reinforcement. So it seems like it was enough. It was a bit closer than I would have liked though. Now we need to figure out which group was on their way to the fortress and which was not. Yeah, you guys can just stay there for a bit and recover. Now we still have a few provinces we can take for free. No, I don't want to go that long of a round trip over there. Our war score is at 20%. We're about done with this capital siege, but we've been about done for a while. Is this gonna be the lucky one? Okay, we got it. I mean, mercenaries are still just gonna be... well, actually they cannot do much. It's just gonna help out with the provinces that are around here that still haven't been conquered by us. Okay, let's check the situation for a second. We're reclaiming one of our provinces as well, since we're already here. The siege in Saint-Louis is going nicely. Well, it does have a level 8 fort, so I'm surprised it's had such good progress. We now control our own province again. We'll just take a few other ones back while we're here already. The siege of Guinon is being a bit feistier than we would prefer. Now you guys should also take care of Shubhanpuri. Kilwa occupied Dali, sure. We also would take... no, don't go in such a circle. I would have liked to take Puer, but not gonna happen. Otherwise we might encounter the enemies again at moments where we do not expect them. You can see our allies are gonna be like fighting, hunting them down a bit though. You guys can take Sitep. And yeah, these two groups still have like a few provinces on their way to take down. I see Delhi sieging something, but their bonus to the siege is really rough, so it's gonna take a long time. Okay, so we can move you guys from this place on to the next fortress, which is gonna be where? Level 8 again. And the infantry group then can just pick up those few provinces on the way. Kilwa occupied Subhanpuri. Perfect. You go to Kanchanpuri next. Something happened here, but they didn't read it. So never mind, probably nothing important, at least. Well, it's related to Nkora, which is like one province country at this point. So we have like 1, 2, 3, 4 sieges ongoing at the same time. And our manpower reserves are decent. so we can keep this up. Plus our allies are also doing 2 sieges. Basically all the fortresses that Ayutthaya at least has are under our siege. Or well, at least under our allies' siege, if anything. We will help our allies out as well if it takes longer for them. But you can also see the cores are ticking up really fast. So if we want to just keep something cored all the time, there will be a little bit of a pause, I believe, after this war. Or well, during this war, I guess, before we can start coring the next set. Okay, so we also occupy this Nangai. There is this Danang that can be claimed quite freely. Our allies are helping us to clean up our own land behind. So we will not just go backwards over there. But I hope you guys can make the difference between like what is ours and what is controlled by the enemies, because it is tricky. Okay, so probably if we can, we'll move to Nan and the other group goes to Lampang. Yeah, we can. Because the siege of Sukhothai, I believe our allies took it just now, right? There's a small group of Mong Mao troops over here. It's gonna be just ran over by Delhi. Okay, another siege was done. Nice. Do we have... Yeah, we still have like a few fortresses. Like one is in Mong Mao that we can give you. You guys can just support those guys somewhere. Now I can see that another group... Well, do we have anyone that isn't doing anything useful? So maybe you guys could just take over this Sipho. And we took all the provinces on the eastern shore on the way to the fort. So there was a little bit of a sea battle going on, as you can see. Impressive one against like hundreds of ships. That was never to be won by them. One of our... Well, we did get the leader trade by the admiral in that fleet, I guess, just for killing one ship. Taking it down. The siege of Ganju is over. Oh! Oh no! They took one of our fortresses. I thought that's not gonna happen. Boy, I was wrong. Timbuktu. Like, something is going on always in Timbuktu, some religious thingamajigs. So we have occupied another province over here. Please move forward. Just gonna paint the map green to green. And this one should tick this round, right? Sign V, it's time for you to give up. You've been fighting well enough though. 78%. 78% chance for us to take it this round. We'll just take a moment and see if we get it. Okay, nice. We saw the end of that siege. Now we have another free group to siege, and I see a fortress in Dongin. We'll go for it. And the infantry group will stay here just to clean up the provinces over here. Next one to fall, I believe, or I predict, is Yunnan. Our truce with Korea and Yu has ended, and Wu as well. Okay, so we got this swarm of messages because we finished coring everything from Ottomans. I think we'll have to state those areas because they're quite close to Europe already, and if we fight over there we want to have like a ability to put some forts down and so on. And we do have an unassigned merchant here for a while even, I believe. I just ignored it for the timing. So yes, we will make this into a territory. We'll make all of you, all of these gained areas into territories. We should have the government capacity for that. Okay, maybe not. Actually this one as well, because it's just facing Spain, and we are planning to fight Spain in a little bit, at a little bit later time in the future. Hello, him hot dog. Nice to see you here. So, yeah, this is also kind of facing Spain. And yeah, definitely everything around this revolutionary Bulgaria will be stated. And while we're doing these things already, I'm just taking a small break from the war, let's also assign the merchant to some place where we don't have one yet. So it's ordered by, I believe, our current trade power. You can see Cape is actually the place where we gather trade, and that's also our capital actually. I have to scroll quite a while before we get to the first place without the merchant, so Canton doesn't apparently have anything from us. We'll send this new guy there. Now, some of our provinces lack core. Those are all the ones that we just cored. So, yep, let's core all. And I will be also spending some money just to keep our governing capacity under control. It's 2,600 out of 3k. We still have some flexibility there. But yeah, just looking a bit forward into the future, let's just add town halls to all of these provinces. Let's check out also all the other types of buildings. So there are some areas that have a decent trade bonus if we build trade buildings, everything up until here. It's just like a little bit creative process, isn't it? And a few areas that require or give us decent production bonus. So there are not that many good ones, but everything around like 15 ducats or 0.15 ducats per month bonus is nice. And religion is, well, taxation is becoming less and less relevant, so just one click over here. You can check if there are any good manufacturing places. Maybe a few over this 30 something 0.3 ducats would do. Let's also take a look at manpower. So we have a few areas that gave us like more than 150 manpower. Like 125 is probably the limit we should go for here. And we cannot build any furnaces at the moment. Now, like, yeah, I'm taking just a little bit of time because we're worrying Ayutthaya and their allies, but when it comes to the upcoming wars, then if we want to go against Spain, we should probably be well defended around their areas. So for example, we don't have any fortresses over here. Also, this area is given to the trade company, so we'll state it as well. And build a few fortresses for the future. We have the money to do it, so the only question is we don't have building slots at the moment here, apparently. Wait. Let's just check it quickly. So, deving it a little bit, maybe? I see we also have one available colonist. Maybe they can try to dev it a bit for us. And yeah, this just needs one click in order to build another building. So, level 8 fortress goes over here. So at least we have one fortress on that side. I also see an issue over here. We are building a town hall for all these areas, so we might have to come back once the town halls are done. And, well, there is a suitable slot for a fortress over here. For some reason, I believe if we go against Spain, Dalif, this Tafilant will be one of the main targets from them, so if we expand the administration, maybe we could build ramparts or whatever it was called. Oh, we already have ramparts here. Okay, and another probably hotspot, like a bottleneck here, is to what? This is also a good candidate for ramparts. Question is, shall we invest this administrative power to maybe get another building slot? Ah, there is a colonist here actually. Wait, really? The colonist is already working on promoting settlement growth in Tuat, finished on 1746. I'm not sure what's going on with this province. Let's just take this colonist away. Wait. Yeah, it's confusing. Like it kind of indicates there is a colonist doing this stuff already, but never mind. We'll come back to it. It's a bit too much to handle during the war. So let's switch back to Ayutthaya. You can see Delhi is having 83k troops in a single fortress, and they're still only having 7 siege bonus. So less than 40 artillery at the moment. How's it going for the enemies though? In terms of like troop counts, they still have... They lost a bunch, so they have like 100k left. Even less than that. You guys can just proceed forward, north. So Branichevo. Something happened in terms of the religion there, I guess. Or they're just getting core still, yeah. I'm a little bit slow at the moment. So we will add more regions here that will be stated. And let's core them all. So we are using up our administrative power. Efficient or not, that's for everyone else to judge, but at least we are using it up and not letting it cap. Yeah. Okay, so you guys can advance a little bit over here. Puer, you still cannot go to Puer, right? But would you... Oh, now you can go to Puer because Yunnan is also done. Yunnan is done. Okay, if you go to Puer and you will reunite with your artillery over there, we can start kind of like freeing up our own territories, but maybe I'll go take on some Taiviet areas instead. Okay, so at this point we're really close to actually like just going for the peace, because yeah, this fortress here is remaining. Our ships are in the right region, so there's no negative bonus from the siege, or well, not blockading the ports. There's another conversion of the faith happening, and everybody's grabbing some provinces, us from them and them from us, but I guess mostly us from them. And Kora also, well, the truce with them ended, so we can just pick up like one province minor from the Africa and center areas afterwards. There is some missionary doing something here, isn't it? Trying to convert this area to their own religion. We'll just have to revert it afterwards. So 77% war score. And we are sieging basically everything that we can at this point. Now, while things are going on, we kind of can take a look at how much war score we need in general, because we might not need that much in order to hit like 100% overextension. So let's sue for peace and see which pieces we want actually to have here. I want to say we focus on Ayutthayan lands just because they're the cheapest. And let's maybe do it by like decreased, or well, the smallest overextension, and then going up from there. Okay, I'll pause for a second. Let's just plan a little bit. So if we just grab lands in a row, what will this mean for us? So we're still good with war score. 58% overextension. 70% overextension. They're still happy with the deal. We're basically butchering Ayutthaya into 2. So this is like an option. We're just a little bit over 100% right now, but it's not like the cleanest option. I don't like it much in that sense. So maybe we do it like we leave out the areas in the middle here. We will clean up the northern part here, so the next time we war them, it's just going to be like one single area we can focus on. We'll take these two areas. Again, like we'll just hold back from the middle. Add again from the side here. So we're at 103. Maybe if we do like this switch around, it's going to be actually worse. So now we play a little bit with 96.6. And you can see they're already happy with the, well, not happy, I guess they're okay with the deal. But we wanna like push a little bit further. Like what's the smallest one we didn't pick yet? So for example, we can grab, oh, it's in the middle. We don't want this one, thank you. What about Kukanor Surim? That will bring us to 99%, which is comfortably within the 100% limit. So this means we don't have to fight anymore. You can see we only need 64 war score to conclude this deal. Can get some ducats as well, just because we can. A decent amount of ducats actually, 1,760. So probably next time we war Ayutthaya, they will be completely eliminated from the map. Yeah, let's do it. So the third Kilwa Ayutthayan Imperialist War ended with our victory. Just like the previous two, for everyone's information. So quite a decent list of provinces we gained. Now do we have enough admin power to make all of these into our cores? Wow. Sometimes. Just 2 admin power remaining and everything is being cored. That was lucky. Okay. So everything should be cored at the same time. We can also siege land, but we're almost always at 99 point something percent. We'll skip it. Can also upgrade some centers of trade. Let's do that. More trade income for us in the long run. And we now have some exiled armies. Not many though, but yeah, we'll have to do the tidying up of the troops. So artilleries need to rejoin their infantry counterparts. For example, I see one infantry group over here. There is another extra artillery over here and another infantry group in Chiang Mai. So you guys will meet up in Map Mai. Chiang Mai and Map Mai. And an easy one is over because the infantry group was always stalking their own counterpart of artillery. But I need you all to leave the enemy lands as well, just to get rid of the notification now. Okay, let's unpause. Let everybody move away from enemy lands. Your job is done there. And now we have to start thinking about the next war, because in order to keep warring all the time, we need to be warring all the time, right? It was an accidental rhyming there. So what about Shun? Like, they are allied with Korea, which, like, Korea is always annoying to me to fight. They have a decent amount of troops and they're very tough usually. Shun has not too many troops, to be fair. Right, things are happening. So we have gained trade protection Castle Spelly. Also some Albanian separatists have risen up, which will be automatically taken care of. Now where were we? We were considering if we should fight Shun. No, we don't want to give you military access. Transoxiana, they can have our military access because they're our allies. But yeah, if we were to war Wu, which is guaranteed by Shun, but they're also allied with Korea and Yue. Is Yue allied with Wu? So maybe the next set of coring would be that we just war Yu, take the lands from them and also from Wu, and then we'll just do some map clearance, meaning that we have some provinces that we could take over in Africa. These guys are allied with France. And Korea is an easy one to take over. What about Ya? They don't have any allies. That's not enough, is it? Maybe. Also Bengal is something that we were considering. Might be like combined with the others is like a decently sized chunk to just core one in one round or one go. The only thing with Bengal is that they are allied with Delhi, which is our ally. So is Delhi still happy to break their alliance with Bengal? So would you break an alliance with Bengal for us? Yes, you would. And Chagatai. Now that's an interesting one because we could actually eat up both Chagatai and Bengal in the same round. Well, it's just the two provinces that I would like to take from them because the other ones are on the other side of Delhi and Chun. I just want to keep the country like as in one piece as possible. Yeah, I kind of like the Bengal option right now more than you. The only trick with Bengal is like we started coring some of the provinces around them. So if Bengal has a claim on these provinces, they will stop coring while we're at war with them. Doesn't look like it, so shouldn't be a problem. Yeah, it's like Dali, Ayutthaya and Shun consider this their core province, but that's about it. And another area is here, but the provinces around them we already cored, so that's not going to be an issue. So Bengal, I'm not sure if you know about this, but you're about to be taken over by us. I'll start sending some troops there already. It's like so many troops. Don't even need all of them for Bengal at least. So 45k mercenaries. Are there any fortresses? So this doesn't have a fortress and well, this one has a fortress. Okay, so the mercenaries can probably stay near Tehong. Just take it over once the war starts. What's going on here? Why are there so many troops in the single province? Causing unnecessary attrition. You guys are still not back on home soil. I think with Bengal war we're not in such a rush just because it will be a short one. They do have a few fortresses. Like we saw one was in this area called Kale. Now, what about the rest of Bengal? It's like there is a level 8 fortress over here. One over here, so that's 2, 3 all together. Fourth one is level 9 in the capital, I guess. And fifth one is over there. So they have 5 fortresses we need to siege down, which means at least 10 groups. Okay, our Sultanate has tragically died. A minute of silence. Well, not actually, but like in game time, you know. Okay, so you guys. So we need to assign groups, basically. We need 10 groups to siege down all the other, all the fortresses simultaneously. You guys are missing artillery still. Okay, so 2 groups will be sieging down Kale. So it will be you and you. Then you guys will be going for one of the fortresses in the north. Yeah. The Kochhaya one. But you need like a counterparty, which is just sitting here. So you'll meet in Darang. And then these 2 groups will go for maybe the capital province, so you will end up in Nadia. And your partners will end up somewhere in Satkavan, for example. There's still a few groups that are not moving yet. And some that are regrouping still. And these guys are actually the slower ones that still don't have their group all together yet. So please get there as soon as you can. We do have forced march on, so it's going to be relatively quick. And I'll just send you guys like somewhere in the southern part of Bengal as well. For example, in Midnapur. But I believe, yeah, some of these groups I still didn't send moving towards Bengal. So, yeah, you go to Mongir. I'm gonna butcher some of these names. Not even sure who knows how to pronounce all of these correctly, but I guess locals, if anything. Is everybody moving now? Oh no. Okay, well, this mercenary group was supposed to stay here anyway. I will close some notifications just so that they don't bother us. We will do like buildings whenever we get inspired to do that, right? So near maximum monarch power. So this is something we do need to take care of. I will close the overextension rebel uprising notifications though. And uncontested claims. Yeah. Just to have more useful information at the moment. So Diplo and military power are maxing out again. Means it's time to do some deving. Let's just sort again by cost. So you can see, for example, in Macedonia we could just push the development up a bit. And maybe do a little bit in Vargas as well. Just to go to like 800 points for each. And a few clicks in Ellora. Yeah, so we'll be okay for another year or two in game time. Okay, so everybody is moving towards Bengal. I'm thinking maybe we asked Delhi already to stop this alliance with Bengal just in case they start changing their minds. And then we'll declare on Bengal and we can already be sure that we can grab these areas safely. So yes, they are happy to break their alliance. Thank you very much. And I don't know if I have to wait for a day or not, but we will declare war on Bengal already. We can call Guarat as their co-belligerent, which will not bring any additional allies to the war. And we will also bring Transoxiana to the war. I guess Delhi doesn't want because they have truce with Bengal, just because they broke the alliance with them. Yeah, so that's gonna be the setup. Transoxiana is not interested in these areas, which is brilliant for us. Maybe like parts of Chagatai, which I don't really mind them taking. But anyway, they will keep Chagatai busy for us. So you can see like the enemy has 130, 160, 170k troops again. Very familiar number to what happened in the previous war. Okay, let's confirm and let's go. Now we can already start at least one of the sieges. So the one in Kilwa. You will again split up your artillery to help with the siege. The mercenaries will go take over the Hong. And there is also one group that already made it down here, so probably you will go for Bishnupur. Yeah, doesn't really matter which one. There is one group in the north as well. I guess you will go for the capital, if anything. You could use some artillery assistance from the other groups, but they're just arriving slowly, I can see. So once these guys, yeah, just stop moving for a second. You will lend your artillery support to the guys in Bishnupur. No, I'm not happy with the situation. You should move closer still together. You can see Bengal still has a decent sized, like 2 decent sized armies here. We could try to hunt them down, but only if necessary, because we're just preserving manpower all the time. Okay, various troops are arriving. These 2 guys were supposed to do the siege of Koshharsho. Also give your artillery for the siege. You guys are... Well, actually you guys are gonna help out with the capital also, so just move to Purnia for the time being. So Delhi is just running home. I don't see Transoxiana troops anywhere nearby, so we might have to fight Bengal a little bit ourselves. It would be best to do this in the areas of our own fort. Now what is this race condition that's about to happen? So they would be there by the 30th of November, we would be there by the 28th of November. They might just stop moving if they see that we get there earlier. Yeah, as expected. But we will go for and attack these 41k troops over here. Just to have some battles for fun as well, because it's not fun to just siege all the time. You guys should move a bit closer. You can take over Kochi. Ah, Koch, yes. Now we do have a lot of idle troops over here. As mentioned, you guys should go for the artillery over here. And now the question is, what do we do with this 45k troops? I mean, I'll move our troops closer. We'll do the battle up here first and we'll consider what... Because they might start reinforcing the ones that are in Tirhut. Okay, so we have 2 troops positioned and you both go to Tirhut. Take care of the Bengal armies there. See how that battle goes, and then I can see these guys already want to just join the battle in Tirhut, but it doesn't look like they'll make it there on time, or like they want to get there. Like they want to get there at all. It's just a rough one, as you can see. Okay, stack wiped, brilliant. So I guess since you did so well, you go for Bengal in their own lands as well, even though... What is the terrain? It's farmlands, okay, so not too bad. We will get probably crossing penalty, but nothing from the land itself. Although one of our generals is at 6 maneuver, so... And they are at 4, so maybe we'll even bypass the crossing penalty. Time for another battle. Nice. Okay, so how are the numbers? Bengal is having a rough time. I mean, we have twice as much as they have, so... Unless we roll like really badly, it's hard for us to lose this one. 6,000, I guess we're gonna stack wipe again, nice. Okay, so that takes care of one part of the problem in this war, or challenge. We'll split up this group to have the artillery reinforce the siege in the capital, in Gouda. Okay, you can see we're taking over some lands. So, Sufi syncretism, we either go for mysticism or legalism. I want the missionary strength to be up, so let's go for mysticism, but we will get autonomy change plus 0.1, and this would apply to Damot area. Yeah, still, let's take the missionary strength one. Okay, I can see that Koch, that's a really unfortunate one. Koch has been taken over by us. Now that Bengal's troops have been beaten, they literally have 0 left. We can just basically stop them from spawning any other troops in any other of the areas they have here. You can see the siege in actually Kane is going nicely. So you can see these guys are going to Purnia. These two areas are being handled already. There is Rangpur that we cannot get to because it's in the middle of two fortresses. Now there is something going on over here in Nasirabad. I guess you guys will stop this from spawning any troops. And there is another fortress that we do not have the troops for, I guess. Actually, this group can go there. And this infantry group will take over Damin, which almost covers everything. So either we take over the province or they just cannot move away from that province to other areas. Because it's a bit annoying if they start running around here in the free areas without any fortresses, so they can just start playing like a cat and mouse game with us. So Camdo has some rebel activity. I see we have somebody to potentially take care of this, so we'll set some autonomous. You know what? Not yet. I want them to move a little bit closer to the middle of these areas, so before we set up the autonomous rebel suppression. Okay, so Kilwa has occupied this area. I don't think you guys need to go anywhere else for the time being. Koragat is something we didn't cover yet, but I guess once these guys are done in Nasirabad, we can move them around. So the sieges are, look, this one is already at 7%, nice. They're even ahead of Kale. I guess they started around the same time now. Or they're just really lucky. So there is some border friction. I don't wanna lose Delhi as an alliance, so probably we'll just take the prestige hit and just lose our claim on luck now. Okay, we have won the siege of Bishnupur. Brilliant. I will reunite. Actually, no, I will just redirect the siege group to the other siege. And you guys can actually go to Koragat yourselves. So we kind of surround the only province we do not have access to, which is the Rangpur. How is Guarat doing? Oh, they're actually trying to siege us. I mean, we should take Guarat territory as well, just to clean up the map from this area. It's like the only province they have that's, well, only province in the region that's not owned by us or our allies after we take Bengal. Okay, Bengal troops got kicked off the map again. So another siege is done, and I think you guys will be, let me just check that you're force marching. You guys are not force marching. You will go for the Guarat fortress, which is their capital and therefore level 9. Well, you know, on the way you can just take care of their troops in our fortress as well. Okay, today is a day to celebrate. We have a monument in Constantinople that's been finished. We would like to have maximum prestige at this point. We can just leave it in the background. Maybe we get some prestige from somewhere. Talking about prestige. Okay. So we get 20 monarch points of each category thanks to being at 100 prestige. Brilliant. What a timing though. Production research is flawed. Oh, we can lose the prestige again. We don't care. It will come back most likely with one of the conversions in a moment. Shagatai is taking over some of our provinces here. Oh, they just finally made it to the war, eh? Okay, there is a Koragat has been occupied by Kilwa. We can actually take care of this Rangpur now, since we just took down the fortress in... Was it in Koshbaijo that was stopping us from getting there? We lost the siege. Too bad. Guarat gets a little bit of a thing to celebrate over before we get there. So Yarkand is done. Tuab trade node is no longer spreading religion. And we have some rebels spawning over here. Now, okay, these guys are still not there. wondering if the whole area, like in this Asian part, is too much for one group of rebels. We'll see. For now, the rebels can have their fun for a little bit of time. So religious centering, one area is done again. The siege of Kale is over. Let's spread up the group and reunite the artillery with infantry. I don't want to send anyone else to fight Guarat, I guess. You guys can also split up again. I do want to send somebody to fight Chagatai here. I'm expecting Transoxiana to take care of Chagatai to a large extent, even though like their troops were so far away from home that probably that's why Chagatai is making some advancements. Kora is insulting us. How dare they? We will deal with this. We will not leave it be. So some rebels have taken control of well, that's a tricky one right now. I guess now we can pretty much assign these guys like the autonomous rebel suppression. Just do it everywhere around. And if you need help later on, we'll assign another group to deal with the situation. All of the lands of Ayutthaya are probably gonna be spawning rebels for the next few decades. And here. And there seems to be a little bit of non-green areas. Oi. Sometimes I feel like I don't misclick, but it doesn't assign the provinces to rebel suppression. Apparently the previous lands of Malacca are still also a bit problematic. So yeah, let's see if one group can manage all of it. I mean, they can the given time, but if needed we can make it more efficient with another group. So revolutionary Spain has been discovered, building a spy network. Now, yeah, you guys will just take care of the troops sieging, well, Chagatai troops sieging Carvel. I can see Guarat kind of fled the area. So we'll quickly take back our fortress and then go fight them. We have 45k ducats available. Oh, 47k. Should do something with them, I guess. But let's do it after the war, so we'll gather up a bit more. So we stack wipe the Chagatai troops over here. And we can set this group to just autonomously take back our provinces over here. In terms of coring, we still have a bunch of time before we run into a moment where we don't have anything to core anymore. We do have a mercenary group here. Just the problem is if I force them to fight Guarat, I will have to set up the autonomous rebel suppression again, but I guess it's worth it, otherwise they'll just be taking over provinces as they run around. They decided to go. No, they changed their mind. Going to Bijapur now. We'll just wait a moment until they're locked in and can't run away from us. Okay, so we'll fight you in Bijapur. Actually, you guys probably want to see the fight, I assume. Shouldn't be a long one. But we have so few of them, so let's enjoy it. So we have won the siege of Ranpur. We'll get there in a moment. So the rolls are in our favor initially. Yeah, they don't really stand a chance, even against the mercenary group here. So we have, well, they rolled nicely at least, but they still got stack wiped. Okay, I will, yeah, actually you guys can have this as the center of your rebel suppression operations. Well, you can see the areas are quite green, so I'm just not gonna click too much here, but leave them here in case something does happen. And you guys can just start sieging the Alner, which is the capital of Guarat. Okay, the religion of Bambouk has converted to Sunni, thanks to the religious center in Timbuktu. So the religious center in Timbuktu is doing... I imagine like we're kind of fighting against French here regarding the religion and religious conversions. So it might be like flip-flopping all the time, some provinces. Wait, what's going on here? We have some rebels and everybody's just staring around doing nothing. Okay, another religious center is doing conversions. These guys can be regrouped. Now there's the capital that's still staying strong. We do have one area that we are coring that's having issues because of these rebels. It's probably gonna be delayed a little bit. So central Doab has been occupied by Kilwa, that's nice. Means this group's work is done here, but I'll leave them around here just in case. Like, why are you Transoxia? Okay, I will move you closer actually, because I want to take Khotan and Kiria if possible to ourselves. And for this I see we also need to siege a little bit, so... yeah, these two groups will be doing the work there. So Gauda is also done. Now we'll tidy up the groups over here. And basically all the troops around here can just mind their own business until the next war. Can you go to Bagalpur? Okay, thank you. So you go to Mongir and just chill there. Yeah, I should have noticed probably Keria a bit earlier. Like, we did think about taking out a few provinces from Chagatai. And these are the two ones that we are most interested in. I do hope Transoxiana doesn't get there before us, because I see them moving there. They have way less distance. Okay, not way less distance, it's like... we're racing them, but we do have force march on, if anything. And they just changed their mind on which direction they want to go to. So on the 10th of November we will get to Hotan. Oh, Chagatai troops are here. Are they fleeing from somewhere? I guess they are. And I can see the notification that we have to deal with the monarch power again. It's okay, we still have the screen open basically from the last time. So Mpanku will have some clicks. And you know what? We had another idea actually about building forts, right? So this one is already building a fort, but maybe we'll invest a little bit to Tenere. It's 43 per click. And we need like 10 to unlock the next building slot, I think we'll just do it. Colonist is working here, we'll take it back. I guess we'll have to wait a day before we can start building the fortress. And we also had an idea to build some fortresses to the northern coast of Africa, which we will do right now. I do hope we get to have at least a few wars with Spain, but we have like 50 years remaining until the end of the game. And maybe one extra fortress here, just to be on the safe side. It's not like we're lacking money for that. This area could use a fortress, but need to invest too much in right now in order to get it there. Okay, so are we getting to the lands of Chagatai? Or we are in Hotan at least, and the other group is rushing towards Keria. The siege of Guarat is progressing, and we still have plenty of time to until our cores are done from Ayutthaya. I'm talking about Ayutthaya, they want military access, but we are not willing to give it to them. I don't see a reason why we should. They're like nicely snug, surrounded by us. I'm just waiting for the next war. Okay, rebels have been taken care of. We'll free up that land, and actually the one that was in the middle of courting probably was the one that they were sieging. So this Kampong Postom, so that's a mouthful. Yep, Hotan is ours. I will also send a siege group from these guys to Keria. And I mean the infantry group can just go to Kwarat, because once the siege is done I will reunite you with the artillery that's being used for that siege. Since this war is more or less done, I want to say more or less done. Okay. Chagatai is still trying. I will give them that. I will send them troops closer to the northern border in case they do end up succeeding and doing some damage to us. So yeah, when it comes to the next war, still like the thought of going back to EU4 and some smaller ones in Central Africa could be the case. There aren't that many choices when it comes to small targets. There is also like Luwu, who is being guaranteed by Russia. Russia has been on the losing side for the past few decades, because I believe they fought Ottomans and lost. And maybe also Spain at some point. So they probably wouldn't be much of an opponent for our 61k troops, yeah. I mean, could be an option. We could just start grabbing some land in Siberia. But Shun, like, we probably want to fight Shun. Shun is allied with Korea. And Shun themselves don't have many troops, 120k. Korea has 200k. But it's still not much of a match for us and our allies. So if you consider Transoxiana and Del here as well, and just bring maybe some extra troops, or just train extra troops from around here, then probably we're good to go. So you can see that counter revolutionaries are in this, and sure, we will help them out. And you can see that they have risen up, and they will be taken care of by the rebel suppression in a moment. So yeah, looks like Shun is the way to go. And the truce with Ottomans ends in 1780. Plenty of time until that one. And, well, Austria, who are you allied with? Commonwealth, Burgundy. So this is a little bit of a tougher cookie to crack. Yeah. Just taking some easier targets first before we try to go against the bigger ones. So you can see Guarat is almost done. We can actually focus on this one for a little bit. Not much to do in the siege anyway. So we got some extra prestige. We're back at 90. Wait, we were like 28%, now we're 21. I guess we got this disease outbreak trigger there. Siege of Keria is also going decently. I think it caught up to like Guarat siege quite quickly. The coring process is getting closer to 90%. We'll make it pretty much on time. Wait, sorry about that. If you had some clangs against the table. So one thing I want to check out is if we do sue for peace and just grab all the lands, what are we gonna be facing in terms of overextension? I think we're gonna be okay. Are we gonna be okay to grab all the areas? Not really. So this is 100.8. from that perspective, I'm not even sure we need to wait longer than this. So Bengal would be annexed in this situation with 99.6% overextension, which is perfect. So I'm okay with leaving Guarat and this piece of Chagatai on the map still for this. Yeah, as long as we can eliminate Bengal from the map. But they're not yet giving up. So we still probably need to take over these two fortresses. And Transoxiana is also sieging them down a bit. So sooner or later they'll be happy to give up. And we still have to wait for this court to be done. So this is the one that was sieged by rebels for a little bit. It's gonna slow down the whole process. Actually there is one more, so 74.2% is come down. Okay, so 2 of them were affected by rebels. Religious centers are converting all eligible regions, doing their thing. What about the great projects? I can see that Taj Mahal is under our control and waiting for an upgrade. Our air is gonna cost some, like 5% of the morale of armies. That's unfortunate. Now this Taj Mahal, right? We couldn't upgrade it before, I believe, because it was of the wrong religion, or the owner of it wasn't the same religion as was expected to be. But we can upgrade it a little bit, which gives us prestige decay bonuses and also monthly splendor bonuses. Yeah, sure, we'll do it. That's the only great project that we do not have in progress yet. So the siege of Guarat is done. We'll move just these troops back together. And then it just is about siege of Keria for us, and we're hoping that this will be enough to make Bengal ready to be annexed. How long until we need to upgrade our technology? So we're not that much. Like there's only 2 years that we're ahead of time, so at some point we'll have to have some administrative power in order to be able to do that. Not like we can get it any faster though. We have +5 from the advisor, also +5 from the ruler, and it's also been focused, so doing everything we can there. Okay, so we have a few notifications. We either gain 2 unrest in Hangshu, or we spend 500 ducats to have decreased great project costs for 10 years. And also gain an advisor, but that we can potentially hire for 50% less. Yeah, we'll go for the 500 ducat option. And also we could build the Great Palace, which would give us 10 prestige, 20 legitimacy for like 8.5k ducats, or we just don't build it and lose prestige. Just because we have the ducats, we will build it. We don't really need either of them actually. Okay, let's unpause. Ah, somebody took the Defender of Faith from us. Sorry, Delhi. We want to be the Defenders of Faith. We assigned the missionary as well to keep working on conversions. Okay, so last siege going on for this war. Let's eagerly wait for this one to finish. Each siege phase at this point is 40 days. Just because Chagatai's offensiveness and local defensiveness are playing a role here. So Guarat is already proposing to just, you know, call it quits with this war. So we have a bunch of areas that are our course now. A lot of clicking to do. And regarding these areas, I will mostly assign them to the trade companies. It's a process. So siege of Keria is also done. Okay, I'll just let the game continue until the last of the 2. There's 2 cores remaining, right? the list got so short. Okay, there's 3 cores. So as soon as this Phnom Penh is done, we can sue for peace or offer to end the war. Okay, so yeah, I don't know a better way to assign all these companies to the, or all these provinces to the trade company than just doing like 3 or 4 clicks. Always kind of annoying. But if anyone knows a better way, just make sure to let me know as well. Like I was trying to look for a map mode that would just say like, basically you can see by color which province is in a trade company and which is a state, and just click here to make these ones join the trade company. For the time being, you will have to be clicking with me. Okay, we have like the list of provinces we took was quite impressive, which is great. In that sense, it's not a problem just adding them like this. So Dali is also in the list. Our Kilwan treasure fleet has arrived, brought us some more ducats. I think we're almost done with the provinces. Yeah, okay, that was the last one. So 3 more core constructions are ongoing. And the last one will be done by the 8th of March in 74. So that's like 6 months away. We can consider being over 100% overextension for a little while. I'm just gonna check how much does this last one contributed. So 7.2%. It's kind of like bad things can happen during those few months that we are over, but it can also be like nothing. There was like this event, like some tendencies of rebellious tendencies, maybe, if you have too much overextension for too long. Okay, we are at 55k ducats. Things we can do while we're waiting. I know, Guarat, you don't want to fight us anymore. But we're not done yet. So we can try to build some stuff. Let's check out if we can build some town halls. Yes, we can. Just have town halls everywhere where we can. Our governing capacity right now is, well, it's still like a 3000 buffer plus. Okay, a peace offer from Bengal. No, this is not good enough. Please go back and consider better options for us. We kind of want you to be annexed, so another province has been cored. Ayutthaya separatists have risen here. I mean, we have a group nearby, so we'll take care of them manually. Now this province will also be added to the trade company. And you get a trade company. Oh, there's more. I thought we just had 2 finished. And now we're just waiting for the last one to be... Okay, that last 2 provinces to be cored. Now where were we? Ah, yeah, we were... Okay, well, it's just like one more to be added to the trade company. Actually, more than that, apparently. But yeah, we were like checking out governing capacity, and I just wanted to take a quick look at how much government reform progress we have, because this can all be invested into more governing capacity. I don't think there's any other use for it than that. So now we have 3100 max. 3118 to be exact. We also can purchase the last ability from this Age of Revolutions. So Liberty Desire in the same continent subject is going to be decreased by 25%. We will also be able to assign another merchant because we added so much stuff into the trade companies. So I will just make sure the ordering is correct, and Lhasa will have a merchant doing its thing there as well. Okay. 89.5%. We'll use this time to... Revolutionary Spain has announced Kilwa as their rival. Yeah, we'll use this time to rival them back. Oh, actually we can't, right? Because we're in the middle of the war. But we have a slot for you, Spain. Just wait a minute. So back to the building. We have a few more town halls we can build. Let's check out trade. So a few provinces with good added trade bonus here. And okay, tax wise there is at least one province that's useful to be upgraded. So some Spanish colonial lands are just threatening our trade. How dare they? And some separatists have risen in Yunnan. It's not the provinces we are most interested in. We'll do the what's it called, Great Mosque in everything that's like 0.10 ducats or more. It's probably not worth it as there's not so much time left until the end of the game, but we're not min-maxing here. And we'll do similar stuff for production, I guess. Not quite though. Draw a line here. Actually, we're most interested in manpower, even though those levels have also been decent. But once we go to fight like bigger enemies like Spain, I guess this manpower will be eaten up really fast. Now somebody is afraid to approach the rebels. We'll help you out, don't worry. And yeah, 96.4%. It's gonna be done in March. So one more month left to wait. Is Bengal even eager to give up yet? Yes, they are. They're okay to give up. So intercolonial trade, we either gain 10% liberty desire for Kilwa, Australia, which is our colonial nation, or lose one mercantilism. We're getting mercantilism and losing every now and then, so we're okay to keep them happy. Some prestige from religious conversions. Tali separatists have taken over some control for temporarily over one province. Wow, we're like running into the military and diplomatic power caps again. How does this happen so quick? Like, is time flying, or we just it's like +9 per month and +12 per month correspondingly. Okay, finally we're done with this one. Now let's make this correctly. We'll add you guys to the trade company, and then we will do the Bengal's annexation. Yeah, so 99.6% overextension. We can grab some additional money. Apparently a lot of money, or ducats, so close to 1k. And Bengal will be annexed. We cannot grab anything from Guarat or Chagatai, but that's okay. I'm just double checking. Yeah, it's gonna go over 100%. We will get some aggressive expansion relation penalty with 128 countries. Ottomans don't like us anyway, and Jaunpur probably hates us the most, as you can see based on the aggressive expansion number there. But yeah, let's annex Bengal and the second Kilwan Bengali imperialist war. So we took them into wars. I guess it doesn't count if we took some parts of it, like fighting some other countries, but losses were 202k on our side and 152k on the defender side. Not much in all. Okay. So we will start coring the provinces. we had enough admin power, and we actually have some extra because soon we'll have to. Actually, are we ready already? So we're still 1 year ahead of time. We'll probably wait for a little bit longer. For this one at least. We can upgrade diplomatic technology because we're already capping anyway, so this 1 year isn't much of a problem, I guess. And also military technology. You know, let's do admin as well. It's like, I mean, minor change like this 1 year changes, so just so we don't forget about it. Yeah, so I guess that was a good chunk of land we grabbed again. I will be wrapping up the stream at this point. We do get to think about a little bit about what idea group we will be picking up next. Next time we play, but you can see we have probably most of the good ones already picked. If we click on it, you can just see which ones are not there yet. Any suggestions are welcome. I'll give it a thought as well while off stream, but yeah, just to recap, we took a good chunk of land from Ayutthaya in the first war, and we annexed Bengal completely from the second war. So cleaning up Asia effectively. And yeah, thank you everyone for joining, and also those who will be watching the VOD afterwards. It's been a fun one, and see you already at the next one. Bye!